It's going to cost you roughly $300,000 right now to actually go to levies and fees on a single family home.
What the heck?
Are we heading into a future where single family homes in Toronto are just a thing of the past? Well, it might sound a little bit extreme, but when you see the numbers here, it's not all that far-fetched after all. Today, we're going to be diving deep into the housing crisis here in Ontario and how it's actually changing the game for single family homes. So the first thing I want to talk about here is the decline in single family homes. Let me hit you with some stats here. So in 2024, we might actually see fewer than 5,000 single family homes built in the entire province. Compare that to a population that's nearly 17 million at the moment. Those numbers don't just add up. So this shift started back in 2018 when Ontario began to prioritize high density homes and developments like condos and low rises. Single family, semi and townhomes were just not quite on the top priority list anymore. So when builders follow suit, and now we're in the current position we're in where we rarely see single family homes being built, what does this mean for the future? We're going to dive into this a little bit further here. So why are single family homes actually so rare? Well, let's talk about the Greenbelt, the protected area that's been established for 24 years now. It hasn't budged. We're not even talking like an inch here. So as a population has grown over 10 million people since, it's created an artificial land shortage here, and it's driving up prices to insane levels. If you have looked at the prices of homes in the GTA, to get into your first property, you're talking 500 grand for a shoebox. And that's not really something that I want to be telling people for the foreseeable future. So let's talk about government fees and taxes. Did you know it's going to cost you roughly $300,000 right now to actually go to levies and fees on a single family home?
What the heck?
You want to buy a home for $300,000. You don't want to see $300,000 just go to fees and levies. This is even before a shovel hits the ground, which is insane to think of. So builders are shelling out hundreds of thousands of dollars just to get the process started here. The third thing is the land prices themselves. So you've got land that is just being ridiculously priced because it's so scarce. People are going to be asking for $1.6 million for just a lot of a home in Toronto, for example. And this is just something that it doesn't compute. This is before you even put a house on that property. The next thing I want to discuss here is the barriers that the new developments actually are coming into. So it doesn't stop. If you're a developer, you're trying to build single family homes, you're trying to help, but you're looking at 24 different reports, some assessments, millions of dollars in fees that you're going to have to incur just to get things approved, and adding some of the most stringent building standards in the world here in Canada. And you're looking for a, guess what? Recipe for sky-high real estate prices. That's what we're dealing with right now. We're talking energy efficiency requirements. You're talking safety standards that push the costs extremely high. It's really no wonder developers are walking away from single-family homes altogether. You can't really blame them, although you'd love it if they put their foot down. But when it comes to it, a lot of it comes down to the money, and we know that that's always the case. So if you're looking to buy a home, what does this actually mean to you with the scarcity here of single family homes? Well, basic economics here, when supply drops, the demand stays strong, the prices generally are going to go up, and then that's why single family homes right now in Toronto, across the GTA, are still pretty high in prices. We've seen them level off a little bit. Some areas outside of Toronto specifically, if you're going to go to a Brampton, you've seen the prices dip in the last couple of years. But if you're looking at Toronto numbers, they are pretty steady year over year. It's barely budged. So regardless of what's happening in the market, regardless of how unaffordable it's become here in Ontario and in Canada, detached home prices, they haven't moved all that much because there's so much limit to the amount of inventory that's actually out there and the future inventory that can be actually built. So with the few homes being built, buyers have to compromise now. So what are you compromising on? Smaller space, less desirable location, maybe switching that one single family home into a multi-family home by maybe having a second unit in the basement, or potentially dividing a 3-story home into 3 separate units. So that's what your buying situation is starting to look like. Now we need to kind of take this and wrap it in a bow. What does the future here actually look like? What's the solution? Is there something that we need to think of how we approach housing in Ontario? How can we kind of correct all these issues that we are running into right now? One option is loosening the Greenbelt, and this will restrict some of the land to give us more developable land so we can build some more single family homes. Another is streamlining that approval process, cut the costs, get that $300,000 cost significantly lower so builders can actually get these projects going at a much faster rate and incentivize affordable housing options. This would get the builders moving a little bit quicker as well, I do believe. But there's one more thing to note here that happens. If you're a buyer, none of this does happen overnight. You don't snap your fingers and all of a sudden houses are more affordable, there's more single family homes out there. It's just not something that's going to happen quick. It's going to take a long time for this process to happen. It's got to be change of government, potentially change of rules. And if you're a buyer, you can act strategically, but you really need to just stay informed of what's going on, whether it's YouTube, whether it's the news, whether it's a local real estate agent that you follow. Figure out what's actually happening in the markets. When there's something new announced, then you can understand what's actually going on, and maybe there's a good opportunity for you to get into the market when you see a new project that comes up that's more affordable, that's in an area that you like. As of right now, it really doesn't seem like there's an end in sight for single family homes to all of a sudden be developed at a massive amount, which is really unfortunate. So navigating the market is just not easy, but you don't have to ultimately do this alone. You can do it alone if you'd like, but you can use the advice of somebody like myself. I'm happy to give you any tips and pointers that I have across the GTA real estate market. So if you have any of those questions, you can text me at the number here on screen. I'm happy to answer any of those. If you want to book a one-on-one consultation call or discovery call with me, you can always do that in the first link in the description box down below. If you prefer, just watch these videos, keep yourself updated on what's happening. But single family homes in Toronto, the future of them is extremely uncertain. There's still opportunity out there for those of you who know where to look and who can get the proper guidance. It might not be directly downtown Toronto, but it might if you're looking at something that you're willing to get your hands dirty with and make your own. Thank you so much for watching this video. My name is Mike Carpino, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.